there, this is Jenny from the Sewing Palace in Helena, Montana. Today I'm going to show you how to make cute embroidered kitchen towels. Let's get started by collecting a couple of items to start your embroidered towel project. You'll want a towel that is already hemmed, and we call these in the sewing world blanks because they're blank for us to be able to decorate with. So this is a towel that we have in stock at the store. We have lots of colors. They're already hemmed on all sides. They also have the little holder for the towel rack, and so that's where you want to start with a towel. You can also use a woven fabric or a store-bought towel and embroider on that. I will be using this one today. A terry cloth towel requires a few other steps for embroidery and getting stabilizers together. But today we're going to be using a stabilizer that is called aqua mesh. So this looks like a fabric, but it goes away with water. It's from a company called OESD, and it is aqua mesh. So it looks like fabric, it will go away with water. So when we're all done, we'll wash our towel and this stabilizer will go away. It's very important to use stabilizer when you're embroidering because it'll keep your projects nice and flat. The other thing that you'll want to add to the stabilizer is a spray-on stabilizer. So what I'm going to use is Terrio Magic. So this product makes your towel kind of like cardstock once you spray it. You're going to spray it generously and then let it dry, and then it will be quite stiff. And then this will also wash out. So when you're all done, your towel will be nice and soft and very nice on both sides. You'll want to select an embroidery design. So today I'm going to be using a kitchen embroidery design, and it's called Punny Kitchen towel. So it has cute sayings that are embroidered with kitchen accessories in the background. This embroidery collection is from Scissortail Stitches, and it is called Punny Kitchen Towels 51219, and it has 15 embroidery designs that are ready to embroider onto a towel. We have these in stock, so you can come and select your USB stick and it's ready to go into your machine. The other nice thing about the digitizing from that company is they've been in business a very long time and their digitizing is phenomenal. Scissortail Stitches is an off company of OESD, which is an embroidery company, and they have created really trendy, cute embroidery designs. And so this is a Scissortail Stitches collection. You'll also need some threads. Most of the designs in this collection take 3 to 4 threads in a rainbow of colors. They give suggestions in the embroidery packet, and then you can select them as you go. So they kind of create an ombre when you're all finished. This one went from yellow to a deep red, and each one has really beautiful colors, so they're going to be fun to stitch out. They're also fun to just pick your own colors, but they've given you some really good suggestions. The threads that I'm using are from a company called OESD, and they also are an embroidery thread. It's a 40 weight embroidery thread, has nice sheen, it's polyester, and it doesn't create a lot of lint. It also won't bleach, so it will hold its color if you embroider on a white towel, and it doesn't stain very easily either, so this is perfect for a kitchen towel. It's great for embroidery, and it withstands fast speeds for machines that sew really fast. For the bobbin, you can put a matching towel color in the bobbin, so maybe a neutral gray on this one, and that will be in the bobbin. You won't be changing the bobbin for every color, just the top thread. The back will just have the color that you've selected for your bobbin. So when I do kitchen towels, I use a bobbin thread called Bottom Line. It's from Superior, and it is a finer weight thread, and it comes in various colors. Most of them are neutral, although this purple and orange are some of their bright varieties. But here is a neutral gray. This is a 60 weight polyester embroidery thread, and again, it won't make a lot of lint. This is a very strong thread, even though it's thin. So this is going to go into your bobbin, and then you're going to select the threads for the top for your embroidery design. You'll also want a hoop. The hoop that I'm going to be using today is called the midi hoop. It has a ratcheting system so that you can tighten and loosen the hoop very easily without a small screw. So this is called the midi hoop. I'm going to be embroidering on a BERNINA 590, and we'll take a close-up of the presser foot that I'm going to use. The one that I love to embroider with is number 44C. It's a clear foot and it's dished on the bottom. So that's the one I'm going to be using today for embroidery. I want to show you how I get the towel ready for embroidery using the Terrial Magic. So this is going to be the top of the towel. It would hang by a rack there. So down at the bottom is where I need to apply the stabilizer. And I want to embroider the design at the bottom centered. So I will get this towel very, very damp with Terrial Magic. And I just want to show you how wet I get it, because when you apply the stabilizer, you're going to get it really, really wet and let it dry over time. I usually will dampen it quite a bit, as you can see. So it's really damp, and I'm just getting the spot where I'm going to be embroidering. I'm not doing the entire towel. After I get it wet, I lay it over the edge of my bathtub and let it dry overnight. You can also iron it to speed up the process, but I do find the results are better if you just let it dry. So I'm going to set this aside and let it dry, and then I'll pull out the towel that I've already pre-starched. So this is a towel that I pre-starched last night from home, and you'll see that it kind of looks like it has water spots, and that is where I sprayed. Those water spots go away, so don't fret if you see those. No problem, it will wash out. But the integrity of the towel is much stiffer in this area where I sprayed. It's very soft at the other end of the towel. That's not where I sprayed, but I don't know if you can see the draping of that. It's quite different, so it feels a little bit more like cardstock. So I have the towel ready. The next thing I'm going to do is hoop it and apply the aqua mesh stabilizer. I have found that I get best results when I use 2 layers of aqua mesh stabilizer. When you cut your stabilizer for your embroidery hoop, you want to cut it so that it actually extends beyond the areas of the hoop. Then if you need to tension it, you won't be stretching your fabric, but you'll be evenly pulling a non-stretchy surface. Most stabilizers are non-stretchy. This is a non-woven stabilizer. So this is the best way to get your embroidery. Now, since I want 2 layers, I just use my hoop as a guide, and I fold it over so that I easily know I have 2 layers of stabilizer. I just cut that extra off and set it aside. So now I have 2 layers of aqua mesh stabilizer that are easily going to fit my hoop area. I'm now ready to hoop my embroidery design. I will lay my stabilizer underneath and put my towel on top of that. Now, the one thing that you want to pay attention to is which direction do you want to hoop your towel. Some of the embroidery designs in the collection will be hooped vertically, and some of the designs in the collection will be hooped horizontally. This design that I'm picking next is a vertical orientation. I'll zoom in on the screen so you can kind of see how that will be reflected on the screen, but when I go to hoop this project, it will be like this. This is the midi hoop that I will loosen the ratcheting system so that the 2 pieces separate. The bottom of the towel is here, the top of the towel is hanging off the table, and this is a vertical hooping direction. My stabilizer is underneath, and I do know I need to rotate it so that it is fitting the direction of the hoop. So then this is vertical. The other thing that you can do is mark the center with a fabric-friendly pen, or you can fold it. Now I want it as close to the bottom as I can, but I do want it centered. So I'll just finger press that, then I will lay that on my stabilizer, and my goal is now to watch that press line and make sure it's centered in my hoop. On the embroidery hoop, there are 2 marks that are horizontal, and there are 2 that are vertical. When I'm paying attention to those marks, I will want them to lay on that finger press line. The large hoop goes on the bottom and the small hoop goes on top. So to get started, this large hoop will go underneath and then the small hoop will go on top. I've opened up the hoop on the bottom. I find that center line and line it up with the 2 points on my hoop, or top and bottom. And then I'm going to pick up my towel and my stabilizer and hold it firmly, making sure that I have those 2 points. Then I will go down and put it into my hoop that's sitting down below, opened, and then you'll just squeeze it into place. Now that it's squeezed into place, you're now going to take some time pulling the fabric gently on all sides. You don't want to stretch the fibers, you want them to lay relaxed, and make sure that it is even but not trampoline tight. So I'll sit and smooth this out. Then once I've got it smoothed out, I'll tighten my hoop down. My hooping is complete. I have stabilizer covering the entire hooped area. It is laying nice and smooth. The last step is to make sure your hoop is tightened, and on this system it will ratchet when it's tightened. And then you want to take that inner black ring and slightly seat it down so that there's a smooth surface touching the base of your sewing machine. If those two hoops are even, you can have a rough surface that can rub or etch a design into your sewing area on the bed of your machine. So if you just countersink this just slightly so that this ring is just a little bit in, this surface will be nice and smooth. Here is a close-up of the embroidery design that I'm going to be doing. It is a grater that says "Be Grateful," and the orientation is upright with the hoop. So that orientation matches the hooping when the top of my towel is up at the top. So that would be how I would pay attention to the orientation of the design. The embroidery presser foot that I'm using is foot number 44C. It has a clear base on the bottom and it is dished. It is ready for machine quilting. It's perfect for echo quilting. Can also be used with the BERNINA cutwork tool, but this is the presser foot that I'm going to be using today. There are other feet that you can use. This just happens to be one of my favorites. The embroidery designs are on a USB stick or CD. I've selected them in a USB stick, which we sell here at the store. All of the designs have various sizes, so there's small, medium, and large of each of the designs so that you can accommodate on different styles of machines. Also, you might want a larger one on a larger towel and a small one on a small towel. So you have some nice options. Next, you'll select your embroidery colors of the top thread. I've preloaded the bobbin with a neutral bobbin of superior thread. So this is in my bobbin. And then I have 4 colors to choose from for the top. So if I look at my color palette, I can see that the colors change from teal to green. So I get my threads ready and make sure I like the orientation of the colors. And this will be thread number 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I only have 4 top thread colors for this design. I'll thread up my machine with the first color. I'm now ready to embroider my design. The first step that I'll do on the BERNINA 590 is to touch the needle. What will happen is the machine will get ready for the hoop and get it right in the center. Then you'll get an animation that tells you to put the hoop on. When you go to put the hoop on, you want to lay the brackets on top of the silver brackets that are sitting on the embroidery unit. You lay them on top and then you just squeeze and push down. When you have it on properly, you shouldn't be able to push up and it won't come off. Then you'll want to flatten out your fabric, making sure that there's not a tuck underneath. When you have your hoop on, you'll touch the green check and then you'll be ready to embroider your first color. When you're finished with your thread color, you'll want to cut the thread at the top of the machine and then pull the remnant of thread through the machine so that it's going in the correct direction. You'll then put in your next thread color and you'll proceed through the design until you get all your thread colors finished. When you're all finished with your embroidery design, you'll take it out of your hoop. What you will then trim away is the excess water-soluble stabilizer around the back of your embroidery design. So just use a pair of scissors and trim it away. It doesn't have to be super close, you're just removing the excess. After you've done that, you'll then take it to a sink and wash it with warm water. You'll wash it with a little bit of soap or maybe just hot water, but you just want to get it until you don't feel any more of the water-soluble stabilizer. It kind of feels a little soapy, so you want to make sure you rinse that all out, and when you've got it all rinsed out, you then want your towel to sit flat and dry. What I usually do when it's wet is I will pull the edges taut like so, and then again I'll lay it over my bathroom towel or over the shower curtain and let it dry. It's quite wrinkly right now, so there's a couple ways that you can remove the wrinkles. You can remove the wrinkles with steam, or you can use a spray product called Flatter. Flatter is a really nice product that doesn't add stiffness, it just helps flatten the product, and you can spray it on and then press it on the woolly pressing mat. There's another cool gadget that's out there, it's called the Star iron, and that will work wonderfully for getting this nice and flat. If you iron too long on polyester thread, you can burn it, so you want to be careful of that. The Star iron prevents that from happening, and you'll end up with a perfectly flat towel like that. So I'm going to show you that next. So now we're ready to press our towel. and get the wrinkles out. So from the back side of the towel, I'm gonna lay it down on my ironing board. This is when, if I didn't have the Laura Star iron, I would spray it with a flatter spray or plain water and try to get the creases all out. The nice thing about Laura Star is it produces a micro steam and it won't burn the towel at all. So I'm gonna show you the steam. And you can see my hand was there, so it's not going to be burning the towel, and I get these creases out. So here we go. We finished pressing our towel using the Laura Star iron. We're all finished pressing the towel, and it will lay nice and flat using the Laura Star or the flatter spray. I wanted to show you the back, which is the bobbin thread. If you have any extra little thread tails, you can trim those up nice and even. But what's nice about this is you have a nice flat towel that's very soft, and you don't have stabilizer to remove when you're all finished. Thanks for joining me and learning how to do embroidered kitchen dowels using aqua mesh and the Punny Kitchen embroidery collection. This is the Give Peas a Chance. I am grateful you joined me. This is the Be Grateful all finished. So thanks again. Happy embroidering, happy sewing. This is Jenny from the Sewing Palace in Helena, Montana. Bye-bye.